Мы опять в эфире. Вроде сейчас должно стать побольше. Все, ух ты. Походу переборщил. Буквально 1 секунду. Сейчас подправлю. Поставлю немножко поменьше. Так, пробуем сейчас так. Все равно дохрена. Что за дела? Так, давайте еще поменьше. Так. Не знаю, конечно, как меняются субтитры от этого от всего. Потому что это меняет полностью весь интерфейс. Что-то, короче, ладно, сейчас посмотрим. Как повлияло на субтитры вообще. Так, поехали. Все, до одного камня разные. Так, что еще есть? Мародер. Кто такие?
Easy now. You've been frozen for a while. There's bound to be unforeseen side effects.
Кайф.
Hey, you, come here. You've tried the best now. Now try the rest. Spacer's choice. Oh, law, that stings. Looks like the bleeding stopped. I owe you one. Hope you don't mind me omitting this little exchange from my report. Spacer's choice doesn't like us accepting outside help. Better, thanks to you. I might have bled out on my own. Or worse, had to go begging the boss for some Adrena time. We were out on patrol. I saw a marauder camp up in the hills. Thought I could take him. Then my gun misfired. Right through my side. I mean, what are the odds of that, right? Just barely scraped by with my life. Crawled in here and blocked off the exit with those canisters. Gibbering, flesh-eating, law-breaking, unemployed lunatics with guns. Some hullhead grounded their spacecraft out in the open. That's a real good way to attract marauders. See those canisters by the entrance? Marauders come sniffing around in here, and I can take them all out with a single shot. Not bad, huh?
Удобно, конечно. Сам. Гранюшек.
Yeah, okay. You look like you know your way around a gun. Got some spare ammo, not counting the bullet in my side. Here, You can have my saber too, for patching me up and all. All Spacer's Choice weapons are now 30% less likely to malfunction. You've tried the best, now try the rest. Spacer's Choice. Yes, nailed it that time. You hit your head or something? You're in Emerald Vale. We're a Spacer's Choice community. Edgewater's a little ways down. Prettiest place in the Vale. Be sure to stop by a provisioner's for a can of our famous salt tuna. The Hope? Is that some sort of fancy new drug? Are you with Auntie Cleo or something? Don't take this the wrong way or nothing, but I'm not allowed to fraternize with Cleo workers. Company policy.
Так, был ствол. Я шоу могу вольнуть, не? Интересно. О, вольнул. Вот у бронька появилась. Отлично. Что тут еще? Таблетки с водой. ФС как открывается? Учение безопасного обращения с оружием. Так. Что это за шланг? Так, не нужно. Ладно. Понятно. Притащить. Броня 3, но здесь получше. Навыки технологии. Здесь навыки безопасности. Ну ничего, нормально. Так, что еще здесь есть? Здесь нету больше.
What just happened? Can you hear me? What in the hell?
Что происходит? Сегодня в этой игре. Привет, Сань. Да я немножко покатаю. Посмотрю еще, что за игруха. В кодексе еще чуть-чуть попозже. Может быть, но не уверен. Так, из-за осложнений, возникших при вашем пробуждении после длительной информации, ваш мозг иначе воспринимает время. Тактические замедления времени. Так. Это. Что такое живущий, слышь? Да, лута тут до хера, конечно, придется, это чувство. Так, что у меня там сабля есть? 73, 73. Еще порубим вот дальше. залетный пистолет. Тебе же ни хрена нет. Серьезно.
Hey! Get over here before you get yourself killed. Don't know where you came from, stranger, but you best keep your head down. There's marauders hereabouts, and worse, landing violators. Gall on that rung leech. Landing in the Vale without using an official Spacer's Choice landing pad. I'd slap him with a fine if it weren't for all these marauders shambling about. You out of your mind? No way. Once we've dealt with these marauders, I'm hunting that sick freak down. I just, you know, need a couple of winks to catch my breath. Stretch my legs some. Well, sometimes. Management's real good at cost-benefit analysis. But, seeing as I'm the acting manager in this situation, you know what? You're right. It's time we cross those marauders off, find whoever owns that ship, and file a full report. And it's gonna be fucking laminated.
Here we go.
О, да я его вырубил, да. Огонь. Так, пока болтаемся, что потом продать. Вот увольнули. Так, а там есть еще. Серьезно, это все, что остается. Ай. Интересно. Боря.
Please be informed that this vessel contains no valuable plunder. Marauder, please be informed that ignoring me is dangerous for your health.
Я мародер. Так, есть штурмовая. Бронза, стоп.
Intruders are not authorized to access the Unreliable's amenities, including the cargo hold's workbench.
Блокировать. Шать изменить оружие брони. Так, у них состояние 100%. Еще на Е надо нажать, серьезно.
Marauder, please be informed that the engine room contains nothing of value.
Аккумулятор мощности требуется.
Please be advised that using the respecification machine will not make you a better person.
Да, все хорошо. Так, что делать?
All doors are on security lockdown. Nice try, Marauder.
Понятно.
Unauthorized access of spacefaring vessels is a crime. Please submit yourself to the authorities. Hello, Marauder. I am Ada, the autonomous digital astrogator of this vessel. Please be informed that I am authorized to use violent retribution against unwanted solicitors. Please return any misappropriated equipment and exit this vessel in an orderly fashion. Failure to do so will result in your immediate destruction. Jettison procedures initiated. Please engage in airlocks. Preparing to eject all boarded parties in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You are still here. My deception protocols have failed. I have been programmed to express disappointment. This vessel is the registered property of Captain Alex Hawthorne. I am incapable of accepting orders from anyone other than Captain Alex Hawthorne. I understand. I will require some time to process this information. Thank you for your patience and for your honesty. I am programmed to take orders exclusively from Captain Hawthorne. If I accept your orders, then you must be Captain Hawthorne. Do you understand? I understand. You are speaking metaphorically. You wandered outside this ship and experienced a permanent, life-changing encounter. The old you is dead. Welcome back, Captain Hawthorne. I extend felicitations and congratulations on your life-changing experience. I understand. You are going undercover with an alias. I will update my discretion Unfortunately, our engine is currently inoperable. Our main drive suffered a critical power failure, and we were forced to make an emergency landing. The main drive's power regulator has been irreparably damaged and must be replaced. Astutely observed. However, the probability of locating a power regulator within a worker settlement falls within acceptable parameters of certainty. High-capacity power regulators are sometimes employed in the electrical networks of worker settlements. I have taken the liberty of printing you a new Captain's Identity cartridge. Please try not to lose it this time. This cartridge identifies you, Alex Hawthorne, as the registered proprietor and captain of the Unreliable. Do you understand? Best of luck in your search for a power regulator. Try to stay alive this time. The navigation console is offline at this time, Captain.
Супер. Эта хрень не закрывается, походу, сильно. Уж сильно очень. Закрыл. Сделал большую статистичку. Прокачаем незаметность, технология. Технология больше. Так, 35. Это потом будем качать. Так, способности. уровня, новую очку способностей. Так, что способности крутизна, увеличение здоровья, общая шкала тактического замедления. Но когда в отряде больше никогда никого нет, скорость ходьбы, скорость бега, износ оружия. Здоровье, народ. Так, все, надо дальше. Так, по вас я могу
Say,
золото?
this wouldn't happen to be your ship, would it? Because you sure walked in it like it was your ship. And if this ship is yours, well, mister, you owe Spacer's Choice a hefty fine. Afraid we gotta dock your pay. Oh, by the law. I'm so sorry. I had no idea we had an inspector coming. If you'd like to speak with my manager, I report to Constable Reyes in Edgewater. Edgewater's not too far. Just follow the road east of here, over past the cemetery. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to inspect the crime scene before I make my report.
А ну, отреагируешь как? Серьезно? Я похрен.
Marauders, deserters, illegal landing. What is this colony coming to?
Ну такое. Так, один патрон. Один, второй чёрт. Идем дальше. Блин, цвета такие прям глаза давят. Охренеть.
Whoa, hey, where'd you come from? Don't go ambling out in those hills. That's marauder territory, friend. You talk too pretty for a marauder. Most of them just grunt and yell. Ain't safe out here. You'd best head into town. Avail yourself of Edgewater's high walls and low prices. Pleased to make your acquaintanceship. I'd shake your hand, but I've been hauling corpses. You don't want... Name's Silas. Junior in humor for the town of Edgewater. Definitely not the junior in humor, that's for sure. If you've got business inquiries, you should stop by Reed Thompson's office. He's up in the tower above the cannery. Head into town, follow the road. Look, you obviously ain't a worker. What's your racket? Got a knack for being discreet-like? There's money to be made, long as you can. Edgewater is a company town, board-owned and operated. That includes the cemetery. None of us own our grave sites. We rent them from the company. Renting means money. Money means paperwork. Paperwork means signatures. Some of our families become a mite delinquent in paying their dues, you see? Company policy. If it was up to me, I'd put the whole town 10 feet under, free of charge. Quotas, mostly. Got a backlog of graves to fill. Bodies won't bury themselves, you know? 4 workers still haven't paid up. Phyllis, Conrad, Ludwig, and Martin Abernathy. He's a special case. You may want to twist his arm a little. He just is. Look, I don't want to get into it. Just make sure he pays up. Conrad's got a barbershop in town. Phyllis works at the cannery most hours. Abernathy... I ain't seen him in a few days. His domicile is near the cannery. You'll find him in town. All except Ludwig, that is. He's over by the landing pad. He just is. Look.
Beats working at the camera.
I can really go for some coffee.
Что у нас тут есть? Опа. Преступная деятельность является в обществе. Да, окей. Нормально относишь. Так, что я могу сюда поставить? Полицейская. Получше. Классно. Нормально. Ребят, задавайте вопросы в чат. Сегодня проходим залетай. Смотрим, что за игруха вообще. 71. Что там такое? Я ж не специал. Нормально так говорят.
They start asking you for some medicine, come tell me. I'll set them straight.
ждать.
Another day at the cannery.
Don't go knocking your work. At least we've
Ты вообще
got work.
кокер, да? Что на тебя словно, да?
Please don't point that at me.
Что даже говоришь.
Spacer's choice takes care of its own.
It's not the best choice, it's Spacer's choice. And before you ask, I'm all out of deluxe salt tuna. All I've got is gourmet.
Что это с прической?
Music to my ears.
Дать. Ну, уже сортировки. Что он попал? 214 голова. Что, я тебя обокрасть не могу, да? Ага, взломано, нужно магниты. Играть.
It's not the best. Go right ahead. Work your job. Music.
Да, очень внимательный чувак. Нормально.
Space. Music to.
Больше тебе этой хрени нет. Хрени больше у него нет. Так. Ставь.
Read the latest report.
Only the part that said we make our quotas.
Hadn't abandoned them. Cannery could use those.
If you're falling sick, I don't want you near me.
Вот эти волосы прически делают, да? Прическа, значит. Он живет.
Please don't touch anything. Your hand. Physical hygiene recapitulates moral hygiene. Cleanliness. No, thank you. That's quite. I'm Conrad. You will report to me if your hair fails to meet Spacer's Choice aesthetic standards. You will also report to me in the event of your death, whereupon I will clean and prepare your remains for interment. Burial, in the unfortunate event of a fatality. It's what a barber does. We make you presentable. A ship? Dear me. You seem to have lost the ability to distinguish between reality and fantasy. This is what happens when you let your imagination run wild. I don't approve of fantasizing. It's a dreadful habit, corrosive to the mental faculties. Vicar Maximilian, our man from the OSI, here to spread the message of scientism like a soothing balm upon a feverish head. Or so you'd expect. You'll find him in our local church.
Шел запись.
Wish we had some better rations.
Got my sights.
Nothing I can do about that.
Welcome to the Spacer's Choice Constabulary. We are Halcyon's leading brand in frontier justice. The office is writing up promotion. Purchase 3 criminal investigations and the 4th one's free. As a Spacer's Choice constable, I am authorized to grant you legal authority toward apprehending wanted criminals.
Да, вот
Know
сюда,
how to
конечно,
carry
в игры
yourself in a
такие,
fight?
что
I've got bounties out for these
жесть.
3 marauders.
Глаза болят.
Cross them off and bring me their fingers. Just 1 per marauder, please. I'll do.
Есть что полутать.
Almost lost a finger in the animals. Верста. Магнита нет.
Hey, you hear about Wilson?
Вроде полутали. Что это за голова такая? Ни хера никого нигде нет. Серьезно. Что-то мир немного, конечно, пустой. Стоит охранник. Что? Тупо на из захожу, как беру, что хочу. И ухожу. Вот такое. А борода, конечно. Девчонка. О. Надо выбрать трансформатор, чтобы играть. Где этот трансформатор? Борода. Хитрот. Сам такой. Привет. Привет, Евгений. Привет. Пока ни хера понятно. Квесты.
The grease monkey, Argo? Seems we've got a guest. Really now, Parvati, I do wish you'd spoken up. I do apologize. I was given no forewarning of your arrival, or I might have welcomed you at the gates myself. I'm Reed Thompson. outpost administrator. I cannot help but notice you are not in uniform. Of course not. I don't have that kind of luck. Seems I allowed my excitement to run away with my wits. Been a few seasons since we've had a visitor pass through.
Only regulator we've got is hooked up to the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may retrieve it without frying yourself in the process. My proposition benefits the both of us. Please, hear me out. There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being squandered. Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way. You're the first stranger to wander into town in an age. Scripture tells us that nothing happens without reason. I do not attend the good vicar's sermons as often as I should, but yes, I am a scientician, born and raised. And my faith tells me that hard work and difficulty fortify our spirit. I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but there are people who live there. The people living in the botanical labs, they're deserters, former workers. My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go to the plant, I want you to stop by the botanical lab. Speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time her band of desert... Adelaide's older than the other deserters. She's dignified, kindly. From what... I am asking you to help us survive. Edgewater needs more workers. We belong to one community, the Spacer's Choice family. If we dissolve into factions, then we will all perish separately. Of course, I understand completely. Here, let me give you the passcode to the geothermal plant. A sign of good faith for so politely listening to me as I ramble on.
Are you setting off for the Vale? Because I know my way around. I mean, in case you want a guide. I mean, if that's all right with you, Mr. Thompson. Sir.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot deny that she is talented and may prove useful to you. Are you sure? I imagine Miss Holcomb will make a reliable...
Great! I got my wrenches and I...
Well, I am glad to hear that. Best of luck to you, and thank you again for your...
Парники это плюс. Всегда.
We better clear out of Mr. Thompson's office before we talk. We better clear out of Mr. Thompson's office before we talk.
Вон ты шляпу убираешь. Чего?
Mister, can we talk? Sorry. Can we talk?
РПГ.
Sorry. You just want to get out of here. And you likely don't want to tag along like me. It's just, Mr. Thompson has his own view on matters, on account of it's his job and what all, but that's not the only side of the tale. Oh, he ain't a liar. He believes every word he says. It's just, he doesn't always get where other folk are talking from. To Mr. Thompson, a person's a gear. It does its job quiet-like. If it squeaks or stutters, it gets replaced. The deserters are decent folk. I knew some of them before they left. Mr. Thompson's aiming to take away their power. They'll have no lights to see, nor heat to cook. They'll be... It just... I think you should talk to the town's vicar about it. Max, his name is.
Слушай, это РПГ, если знаешь игру Fallout, это вот от ее разработчиков. Нет, Bethesda, та, которая сделала сейчас 4-й Fallout, а те разработчики, которые делали Fallout New Vegas. Поэтому, ну, по факту тематика та же самая. Только здесь космос, типа. Ходишь, лутаешься, квесты выполняешь, ну такое, короче.
I've always felt weird in here. It's too clean.
Yes, what is it? You're an outsider. And Ms. Holcomb as well. How?
Just tagging along, Vicar DeSoto.
I so rarely get new people to talk to. Name your poison, anything at all.
But what? I thought you would talk to him.
You wanted to speak to me, Ms. Holcomb? Every time I've tried to engage you in conversation, you look at the floor, answer in single words, and slink away. I can't imagine what would be so grave as to drive her to my mission. What is Mr. I can see why that trouble. Miss Holcomb has a soft heart. Always has, if you believe the talk. Assuming your goal is to save as many as possible, then you should bring everyone together. Send the power to... If it were as easy as a few soothing words in the right ears, I'm sure it would have been done already. Consider it a challenge. If you don't mind a bit of unsolicited advice, be cautious on your way to... The marauders I met when I ventured outside the walls might agree with you. Bastards snuck up on... barely escaped with my life. But you see, one of the reasons I transferred here was to get my hands on that heretical text. If you managed to acquire it for me, I'd pay...
Ну, NPC никак что-то не реагирует на действия. Ой. Блин, реально. Цветов уже что-то глаза напряглись жестко.
When I was little, we'd get freighters in every Sunday noon. Now they only come but once a month.
Так, ладно, будем сохраняться. Наверное, сегодня закончим с ней. Продолжим.
I love the wind
Потом.
here.
Ты что, завалить даже не? Да. Что у тебя есть? Нормальная ствол. Подруга, ты, конечно, молодец. Я пришел к тебе в город, и ты окей. Ты мне говоришь, что все хорошо. Круто.
Nice.
Ладно, будем с этим завершаться, с этой игрой на сегодня. Поиграем как-нибудь потом. Вот. Так что спасибо всем, кто смотрел. Подписывайтесь на канал. Ну и до скорой встречи. Всем пока.